The recording's in
Mm,
progress. Did you hear that?
it is. I did.
It's
Thank
still your
you.
birthday for 52 more minutes.
It is still my birthday. I'm still getting, and it's not a bad thing. I'm still getting text messages and Facebook messages. It's just very overwhelming.
Oh,
I can't
fair.
respond to all of them. And I
Uh-huh.
was so busy today that I wasn't able to. I wanted to post the it's my birthday, and I didn't have a chance to. And now I can't. Not till next year.
Oh, that's okay. We had a great compilation of you up on social media right now. Just bringing
Fabulous.
bringing
Absolutely.
everything that Emmy brings.
It's absolutely
So,
fabulous. That was I absolutely like just all of the text messages, all of the messages, and that especially was absolutely a highlight of my day.
I didn't
And
realize you hadn't seen it till like right before we recorded too. That was like,
right before,
yeah,
I didn't have a chance.
that's fair.
I think you posted it right when I was in lunch, belching at people. And I didn't want to play it because the Lord knows what came out of my mouth.
Yeah, that's
Um,
fair.
yeah.
Yeah, I
Uh,
didn't bleep nothing. That's for sure. But yeah, go check that out on all our social media if you want to see a nice little compilation of some of Emmy's greatest moments. I couldn't go through every single episode to get them, but I went through the old clips that we posted.
enough, and it was glorious. And I feel bad saying that because I'm like, oh, I'm so great, but
It's a team effort, and you are a huge part of that team. Well, Princess
if the
Tiara is
tiara
back.
fits, and I feel like it's more fitting for this one because you put Brandon there for
Yeah,
because he's having a moment or something right now.
having a moment or something. Yeah,
Yeah,
something's
but
happening in Brandon World.
let's not forget
Queen for a day or a month.
a month,
Right. Yeah.
the whole year.
All right,
All
Emmy,
right,
let's drop that logo.
let's drop it.
Slowly crushing my toe with my office chair a little bit.
Oh no. I'm sorry for your toe, and welcome to the Abingers podcast, where we assemble weekly to binge all things nerd, old and new. What's up, Flawless? Hello. And I've already decided in our little break that I'm not going to do all the plugs here because I just did them. If you want to go back and listen to episode 1 and hear all our plugs, you can do that.
It's essentially at Avengers Podcast on everything.
On everything. AvengersPodcast.com.
No, you're not gonna do them.
Patreon.com / The Avengers Podcast. My best friend is calling me.
Whoa. Hey, you should answer. Say that they're on YouTube.
Right now. Hey, you're on YouTube. I'm currently recording. Happy birthday to you.
Oh, it's 11:11. Make a wish.
It's 11:11. Make a wish.
Oh, I wish it was 11:12.
I wish that everybody who listens to this goes and gives us a 5-star review on every podcast platform that they have.
Deserve the 5 stars, queen.
I deserve the 5 stars.
You want to know my wish?
What is? Oh no.
Go swimming in a pool filled with banana pudding.
I like that. I like that.
All
one.
right.
Yeah, a nanner pool. I like that.
That's all.
He said it's a nanner pool, and he likes that. I have my headphones on, so you can't hear him.
Oh, that's okay. He's welcome to join me once I find said banana pudding pool.
He's married.
Okay.
People can swim in pudding together.
Pudding?
All right. Can I call you later or you go to bed?
No. Call me later.
All right. I love you.
Love you too. Bye.
Happy birthday. Bye.
Is it also her birthday, or is that just a joke?
No, whenever people tell me happy birthday on my birthday, I get really awkward and say happy birthday to you too.
Like, enjoy the show. Yeah, you too. Ah, fuck.
A couple kids came up to me today and they were like, "It's your birthday," and I was like, "Uh-huh." And then they would just like stand there and I was like, Happy birthday." And they're like, yeah, happy birthday."
That's a good
I
way.
wasn't fishing for that. It's funny to say happy birthday to
It is.
people
It is.
on not their birthday. Anyway, all right. So spoiler alert for X-Men 97. Season 1, episode 2. This is the new animated series from Disney. It is called Mutant Liberation Begins. Ooh,
Yeah.
I like it. It's a cool title. All right.
Oh yeah.
Keith,
Yes.
you went first last episode.
I did.
So I'm going to take the reins.
Do it.
Tell you my thoughts.
Tell us what you thought. Yeah.
All right. I kind of alluded to it in the last episode. I love the civil rights, human rights metaphor analogy that happens in X-Men comics and shows and movies. I think it's fantastic. I love it.
Parts.
Yeah. Because so many things that they say can be taken and used in real life. And I think
100%.
that is the sign of a good story.
Yes.
Like, yes, this is fantastical. It is fiction, but it can also apply to the real world. I like it.
Yeah, it's nice to see that they're hitting those roots in the show. Yeah.
Yes, completely agreed. This episode I liked a little bit more, and I think especially because the cliffhanger at the end, my God, I can get behind that.
Damn.
What is happening? That's short, sweet.
Well, if the
What is
cliffhanger
happening?
you're talking about is when the morph opens the door and it is not Storm, it is Jean Grey again.
Again.
Yeah. I can tell you a theory.
Mystique?
No.
That's my
It's
theory.
a complex theory that I didn't expect that they would go into, but the baby that they have in this episode is Nathan Charles Summers, which I believe is the full name of the character Cable, which you probably would have seen in Deadpool 2. Josh Brolin plays him. He's a time traveling badass. And he is actually Scott's son, but he's not Jean Grey's son. There's this other clone of Jean Grey that is actually his mother. I don't remember the origin of the clone, but I think that might be what we're dealing with, is a clone scenario. And that this woman at the door is the actual Jean. Who knows when she was cloned? Who knows when she was replaced? I have no idea. Maybe it's the opposite. Maybe it's not. Maybe she's the clone. I don't know. But
that's a lot to take in.
Yeah. Clones happen quite a bit. Much more in the comics than they rarely deal with clones in the movies as much as they deal with. They already have shapeshifters, so it's like,
yeah.
I guess there was a clone.
Why would you need clones?
Logan. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, this is a banger of an episode. Like I was saying at the end of our last review was that first episode did introduce the show and show what they're going to do with both just how it's going to look and the tone of the show and everything, and reintroduce people to the characters. But the plot wise, it didn't really give you a lot. Now with the cliffhanger at the end of that one, that this is now Magneto's school and Magneto's going to do what Magneto wants to do. Now we're getting into some nitty gritty and some actual storytelling that furthers the plot. So yeah, I was stoked about that. Yeah, because so much revolved around finding the Sentinels. Okay, they found him, and then Roberto da Costa, who just disappears. So it's like, oh, okay, episode 1 didn't really amount to much. It just showed us who we're dealing with these days, which is kind of the job of the first episode. But yeah, did we get different? Oh yeah, I think he will. He was in the promotional material too, so I was like, oh, he's joined the team, and then he just kind of fucks off. So I was like, where'd he go? But yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right. What were you were gonna say something after that, and then but I interrupted.
Just the Rotten Tomato scores and stuff. I was thinking if
Well,
they're already out for each episode, or is it the whole show? I guess it would
well,
be.
okay, it stayed the same everywhere except for IMDb did have an
Right.
episode update for this episode, and it stayed at a 9.3, and IMDb overall stayed at a 9.0. And I know I do math facts. This seems like bad math. That episode 1 is a 9.3 and episode 2 is a 9.3, but the show overall is a 9.0.
Doesn't make any sense. Someone's rating an
Doesn't
episode
make
that hasn't come out yet.
any sense. So, yeah, okay. Scratching my head
weird.
over that one. But yeah, still critics 100%, audiences 94%, 96% of Google users like this show. That's a 69, but if you're facing butt to butt.
There's a there was a line that I really enjoyed on UK versus the World Drag Race this last week, where the two tallest queens I've ever seen, very tall, lanky queens, get partnered up, and they kind of have a bit of a romance. You can see that there's some chemistry there. And one of the Spanish queen, Chorizo May, says, "You two would be a very long 69." It's adorable. But anyways, I want to do this episode a little bit differently. I'm throwing caution to the wind. I know it's your birthday. I know it is 11:20 at night, and we originally said we're gonna make each episode an hour long because it's a 20-minute show. It might be like 25, but yeah, I'm not gonna recount the episode like I did last episode. I had not planned to even do that last episode, and I still did it. So I got some note-taking changes I need to be making. But people who've watched the episode, they know what happened. What are your thoughts? What is your first note that you'd like to talk about?
Okay, listen, I enjoyed this episode a lot more. I think my notes got a little bit stupider. My notes are dumb. So first of all, I didn't see Magneto looking like that in comic book form. And I think the first episode you only saw him with his helmet on, and with it, no, at the very end you saw him with his helmet off.
Yeah.
And the flowing locks I did not see coming.
Yeah.
And so that is my first note. I hate Magneto looking like this. And also the fact that he has gloves up to almost his armpit and then short sleeves. And so all you can see is his like bicep, half of his bicep.
He's ripped. And they cast Ian McKellen to play this guy. No offense to Ian McKellen. I'm sure he lifts, but my goodness.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, just the fact that he's like, no, I think I need a little bit of my bicep showing. I just need that. That just needs to be out. Yeah. And it's very much like everybody knows that I did the Junior Miss pageant in my hometown, which was the beauty pageant, where I think I also wore gloves. Because it was like debutante, whatever. But I also did it might have been a debutante ball. I'm not really sure what the hell I did my senior year. But I was on somebody's like court and had to wear those very long gloves that went up. Yeah. They're very I'm a lady who is in a royal court.
They have one purpose only.
That's it. And you know what? He's breaking the mold. Go for it, dude. You do you. Where you found the size to fit over your massive biceps that are the size of tree trunks? More power, man.
Where does he take time to lift? You know what? He probably, because he can make metal, he can add resistance, so he could just make anything into a set of dumbbells.
Into barbells, yeah.
Yeah, barbells. Yeah, he could just lift in his spare time, bro. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And he is an Omega level mutant, so he could really just choose whatever workout regimen he wants.
Is that different than an alpha, a beta, or a sigma?
I think they have alpha in their list, but the other ones they do not. There might be a beta now that I think, but there's no sigma. My goodness. Please don't make that happen.
I just wanna be your sigma. What was your first note? Now I'm curious about yours.
Well,
mine
I
was
know
dumb.
he like saves Magneto saves a first responder on a Ferris wheel at Coney Island, and I love that the paramedic was a woman. I love that she was saving a kid and was willing to go down with the ship. The whole damn thing
Yep.
was crashing down. I was like,
That's a good
that's awesome. Yeah.
That's a really good note. And I was talking about his gloves.
Well,
I was reading him like
did have a
he was
note
on the
about his
runway.
gloves. Take it to the runway. But I think the fashion statements in this, so they're there for sure. He's definitely one of the guys. It's an interesting look.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's
there's
top.
a bunch of we got Remy with this crop top. We got that's about it. Just the two of them. Everybody else is just fully clothed. No cropping, no topping.
Rogue's pink number. I feel like I think it might be like a mini dress.
Oh yeah. Her out of
costume.
Out of costume look is just a pink might even be, I don't know, I think it is one piece with a little belt.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's cute. I like it.
Yeah, very 90s.
But very 90s.
I know they throw back to the old show as well. At the very beginning, they have the Friends of Humanity they're making high-powered weapons out of the dampening collars, which I thought was like right away. I was sitting there going, "Oh, they're using that to make a gun too. Oh fuck, they're gonna." I was the fact that he only got one shot for the rifle as well.
Do
I
not
was like,
miss your chance to blow.
Exactly. You only get one shot. You better. Right?
Well, no. Wait, one shot.
How's it go?
Not miss your chance to blow. This opportunity comes once in a lifetime. You better
put
yourself in the music, the moment you own it. Okay.
Lose your powers. The gun he makes from the collar, and then the same guys, the Friends of Humanity, are rounding up the Morlocks, which is a subterranean kind of society of mutants that live under New York City.
Oh,
and
yeah.
They more often than not are not the kind that could fit in with society. So they have some kind of either deformity, or there's some other color, or there's something very visible about them that makes them identifiable as mutants. So those are the Morlocks. They were in the original show as well. They're pretty cool. There's a couple episodes that focus around them. So to see them rounded up and almost killed by the assholes, and then Magneto comes and saves the day.
I like that otherism as well, because it's not always just not personality traits. It's not always something that you can't see that someone. It can also be something that is like people can't pass as quote unquote normal or regular, whatever. Like sometimes people are othered because of physical appearance as well.
Yeah, exactly. This show covers all the bases. It's an allegory for so much, and so many people that could feel just left out, or like they can't fit in.
So many minorities, I feel like.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
that's what X-Men's so great about, or so great about that. You know what I'm saying? There was so the team is kind of debating over whether or not Professor X made the right decision leaving him in charge. They seem kind of split. Beast and Storm are a lot more forgiving with Magneto. They're kind of mulling it over a little bit and having him give the chance to prove himself. I mean, why was he friends with Charles for so long? What did Charles see in him, kind of thing? I think is their way of looking at it. But the rest are. Rogue is also actually quite invested in giving Eric a chance as well, which I don't know what the fuck is going on with that. I have no clue.
Oh, you don't?
I don't know nothing about no relationship between Rogue and Magneto. I don't know what it is.
Okay.
She was on the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants, and she is also, I believe, canonically the daughter of Mystique, but I don't think they had anything to do with each other. So, other than her leaving the team to go be a good guy.
I had a question about her. So Rogue can touch Magneto. And she doesn't do the same thing to Magneto that she does to the Doctor, which also I have questions about, but we'll get there.
Fair.
But yeah,
Yeah,
like
I don't know a damn thing about it because they do reference the fact that, Gambit essentially wishes he could touch her. He's willing to touch her, but he knows that she doesn't want that. He knows that he could die, so they don't ever touch. But they're still kind of romantically involved. It's always
But
I don't think they like to put a label on it, but I don't know if what's going on between Rogue and him is romantic either.
well, they seem very, very different ages.
Yes. Yeah.
I like, and that's fine for certain varying ages, but this seems like a icky one. Could it be that because he's an omnibus, or what did you call him? He's what kind of
An omega level.
omega level? He's an
He's an omnibus.
I knew it started with an O.
You were so close.
So close.
Yeah.
Because he's an omega level. Could it be that that's why she can touch him?
I'm wondering. I'm excited to see what the hell the answer is, but she doesn't seem to be absorbing his powers. They would have some kind of like glow around her, and it just never happened. So I think she's when she touches Magneto, it's inert, and maybe he'll use that to manipulate her, or maybe he actually cares about her. I don't know, but I hope it's not romantical because Gambit is the perfect combo for her.
Yeah, they do seem. I like them. They seem at least like a little bit spicy as a couple compared to Salt and Pepper over there. Not salt, it's Salt and Salt, honestly.
Salt and more salt, salt and flour.
Yeah, salt.
Yeah. Get some crunchy cookies.
Boiled chicken.
Don't bring that brown sugar in here. We need salt, more salt, maybe some granulated
salt.
Salt.
But okay. If he's an Omega, I almost said omnibus again. If he's an Omega and she can touch him, I feel like she is also Omega. I
don't know. I don't think she's listed anywhere, at least online, to be an Omega level mutant.
Like
her power is pretty sought after. See, here's the thing that I always
that's a cool power.
It is a great power, honestly. It comes with its downside of obviously not having physical contact with anybody. That's
why do you need that
caveat? But yeah, I know. Just wear a condom over your whole body.
Yeah.
But no, I was a big fan of writing. When I was in high school, I would write like fan fiction, X-Men, and I would make my own class and series of characters, and I always made the main character be Rogue and Gambit's kid, and he would have Rogue's powers but look like Gambit, and then he also could shapeshift. So it has the best of both worlds in that Rogue can supply herself with anybody's superpower, and if she can shapeshift, you can then look like them too. Whereas a shapeshifter like Morph can turn into people, but he really only has their physical attributes. He can't he's not suddenly made of adamantium claws. If he turns into Wolverine, he doesn't have that indestructibility. His claws would be sliced through, just like I think in the first X-Men movie they do that with Mystique. She turns into I don't think, I know, I've seen that like 300 times. She turns into Wolverine, she's fighting with Wolverine, and then he slices through her claws and she like screams in pain because that's part of her. So she's it's jarring. But if you had both, then you'd be overpowered. And so that was my character was the character that I wrote was had a very temporary ability to do that, but it would mess with him too. Like he'd have their traumas and their hauntings and their fears and everything as well. So it would be kind of uncontrollable at the same time. It's fun. That's
cool. That is really cool.
Thanks.
I wish I was
super dorky, but I love doing it.
Well, yeah, but we're on a Bingers podcast. Like, if there's a place and a time, it is here.
We should find my old emails. I emailed them to myself so I wouldn't lose them. Huh.
That is
I might have a summer hobby.
That is also how I used to find, or like to save my shit in college. Like I would email it to myself and be like, cool.
Yeah,
that is there
it just
forever
exists
now.
Somewhere. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Until your inbox gets
out
full
in the cloud.
It's like 2001 and they haven't figured out how to make larger inboxes. Yeah. They're like, by the way,
2001. No, emails. Keith, I'm younger than that. Okay, all right.
What? I'm sorry.
2001. When I was in college in 2001? No.
Oh, sorry. I was talking about when I was doing the fan fiction.
Oh. Okay. Oh, I do get from my university, I get things now that are like, your email is closing, and I'm like, I honestly don't care, but like now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, oh shit, do I
Maybe I
care?
do care. Yeah, that's fair. Maybe something to look into.
Well, yeah. Glad I took tomorrow off. Gonna find all my old fan fiction of me and
Oh,
Robert Downey Jr. No, I'm just
damn.
kidding. Um,
I believe it. So Bishop and Gambit and Logan don't seem to be interested in Eric. Eric is Magneto's real name, by the way.
yes, I
Taking
knew
over
that because
Perfect.
of what's his name? Not Michael Fassbender, the other one.
Ian
No,
McKellen,
it is. No,
Michael Fassbender,
Michael Fassbender. Who's the other one though?
who is the other person who played Magneto, or the other person who was the Professor X to his
Yeah.
James McAvoy.
James McAvoy. Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
Sorry. Okay.
it's
I
okay.
did know that Fassbender's name was Eric in those movies
Yes,
because
they say it a lot. Yeah,
yeah.
I think there's a certain thing too of like in live action movies they want to be taken more seriously, so they don't use their code names very often. Like even in the first one, Hugh Jackman's making fun of them for having code names in the first place. He's like, "What do they call you? Wheels?"
Mm,
Like that's like a big line for
yeah.
him. So anyways, Magneto walks in the war room or whatever they call it. He has arranged for the Morlocks to have safe refuge in the mutant nation of Genosha, a place that was once used mutants as slaves until Magneto liberated them, and is now a mutant only nation. So Eric questions why Xavier never did this before, used his resources before. He says one of many mutant matters on which I can and will improve. Um, Cyclops questions Eric's methods, but says that he didn't kill any of the FOH goons, and that should be proof enough that he's willing to honor Xavier's dream of a mutant human coexistence. He can barely get it out. He can't get himself to say it.
Yeah.
Coexistence. Yeah. Any notes? Yeah.
He knows what.
Oh no, I was asking any notes if you had any. I didn't
Oh,
want to interrupt.
I do. Magneto says I was in his thoughts and he in mine. I was like, that's fucking adorable.
It is.
And I love it. I feel like
Yeah.
this show is leaning a little bit queer than I expected. And I'm here for it.
I mean, the fact that Gambit in episode 1's in a crop top, there's a great scene in this episode where Morph just wants to wrestle with Logan. I thought was very cute. Like brings him some chips and beer, and then he like turns into his nemesis and wrestles. He's like gets
I
him
don't
down out of
remember
the
that at
tree.
all.
Yeah, that happens. I think near the end when Storm's doing her like final voiceover monologue part.
Oh, maybe. Okay. But yeah, there's something adorable about a bromance that I will never understand, and it's just so sweet looking from the outside looking in on a bromance.
Yeah.
It's just it's like a love that loves more than love, as Alan Poe said. But it's just it's sweet, and I feel like it's reminiscent of Sir Patrick Stewart and Ian McKellen's friendship. And how they're just absolutely fucking adorable together. I love everything they do. Their Instagrams are adorable, and I love it. It's just, I don't know. There's something reminiscent about those people who have played those characters.
Yeah.
And I was in his thoughts and he in mine. Just it's adorable.
He goes on to say when we parted ways, he says when they parted ways, he told himself that he needed the helmet to protect him from Charles's power. Then Rogue suggests that maybe he was just as worried how Charles he was worried about how Charles would feel because he loved him so much that he wouldn't be able to go through with his crusade. Like if he was constantly revealing what his plans were, or Charles was able to see what he was up to, would he be able to go
Or
through it just out of shame, just like
for him to
embarrassed,
feel Charles as like
constant presence somehow.
disappointment, or not
Yeah,
disappointment, but like oh, I thought better of you.
exactly. I'm
Like,
not mad.
yeah.
I'm just disappointed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Eric. Yeah, very true.
I think I have the note. Okay. I have a lot of quotes in this episode too. I think this
Yeah.
episode had a lot of really good quotes in it.
Mhm.
Whenever they actually get to the trial and Magneto says something about soundbite indignation, I feel like
Yes.
that is something that at least us in this country, we are very good at. We are very good at having a sound clip that sounds good, taken out of context, and is like, wow, this person really gives a shit about this issue. Um, and then nothing happens
Yeah.
from it. And I'm gonna leave it there because I'm saying it happens with a lot of people, and it's not just one side or the other. It's not us or them. It's like it's a very much a sound bite indignation.
Yeah. I
Uh,
liked that line too.
it's a good line, and again, a great way that it's the real world reflected in fiction.
Yeah. And it's one of those things too that's like it gets people thinking, and the writing
Mm-hmm.
of the show is fantastic for that reason. Like the whole quote, if you want, we could skip to the trial. I absolutely would love to. Anyways, it's but the beefiest part of the episode by far. There is a scene earlier with Jean and Storm where Jean's going on about how her sisterhood with the she's not really disagreeing with Magneto as much as she expected to, because now she has a kid on the way, and she's kind of afraid to one day tell her kid that they might be a mutant. And
Mm-hmm.
it made me think of the many people, they don't want to admit, or they don't want to say that they're, for example, that their kid might be gay one day. And it's like
Mm-hmm.
they're afraid that their kid might be that because of the hardships that they would be facing, and
Mm-hmm.
that they don't have to deal with the rest of their lives. And it's like that's an understandable reason to not want that, but at the same time, uh you got to show them a world that accepts that, and
Mm-hmm.
do your best to kind of get them there. But yeah, the line later, he's Magneto's doing his kind of statement, his plead of his case, and he says, um when I was a child, my people and their homes were burnt to ashes because they called God by another name. Then the people, then my people hunted me. Um, no, Jesus, I'm fucking this up big time. Keep till I'm tired. Then my people hunted me with those who once hunted them. In in history's sad song, there is one refrain: believe differently, love differently, be of different sex or skin, and be punished. We sing this song to one another. The oppressed become oppressors. I really like that line too. The oppressed
Mm-hmm.
becoming oppressors. Xavier knew this and dreamed we could change, find harmony, a future where human and mutant could relinquish the past and finally sighs. He sighs. I didn't mean to read that. Finally, and then he couldn't say the words like live together or coexist.
Like
He's
coexist, yeah.
yeah, he's so sick of it's like it's so foreign to him, the idea, because he just wants mutants to dominate in the past. But he instead says, "You claim justice is overdue, indeed, but so is healing." And then a very southern accented judge says the words. Um, he just says basically, this won't fix the. Your words are nice, but it won't fix the hurt people that were hurt by your crimes. And Eric says back, and your soundbite indignation will not heal human wounds. You build robots to hunt us. You collar us to chain our powers. Humanity must protect itself. Protection, that is extermination. I've only ever acted to avenge crimes against my people, and you act to avenge those against yours today. Yeah, it's great writing in this episode and the last one, but this one really hit hard because they start delving more into the kind of um the kind of Martin Luther King, Malcolm X difference between Magneto and Charles, and that's who their characters were based on in the comic books to begin with. So it's nice to see that that comes through. And Magneto really struggles. He's, they set him up in the beginning of this episode to prove himself. You don't have our trust. Why would you? You've not proven that you could do this. And I honestly thought he was going to fail. I was surprised by the way this episode ended. But in more ways than just the Jean showing up or Storm losing her powers. I was surprised that Magneto did not kill these people. And,
yeah.
I was shocked. Not even, he doesn't even kill the executioner guy from the Friends of Humanity, who, kind of armors up and
fucked over his friend.
Yeah.
I mean, if anybody deserved it.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm just saying.
And like I say, he did really respect Storm. And like I say, that the one thing we didn't touch on last episode too is the music in these episodes has been awesome. The scene where Storm's walking and turning desert sand into glass last episode with the lightning has this amazing musical score. Same as this big moment at the end with Magneto soaring up into the clouds and past them into like the upper atmosphere where it's cold. It's like he's brought all these judges up with him. He has this tear that runs down his face before he turns around and faces them because he was going to be breaking his promise to Charles, but no, he turns around and gives another great monologue and then ends up saving the day. So
yeah, I liked Magneto a lot in this episode, and I'm afraid that it's a false sense of hope and security.
Yeah,
but I'm currently a fan because he's another one he can be a bit of a dick.
Oh yeah,
in what I've seen of him. So yeah, I'm at least happy to enjoy him currently.
Yeah. And he's always kind of skirted that line because of his friendship with them. I mean, Magneto and Charles, both of them are in probably, I don't even know how many movies it is now of like how many Hugh Jackman movies, for example. It's always tough because they mix them together too, but that's been probably a relationship that has been explored more in live action movies than any others from the X-Men, because they've done it in both with both sets of actors, and they do help each other a lot in both the comics and the movies, and it's not unexpected that he would take over the team. But yeah, up until this point he has been just humans are replaceable, let's just go ahead and do it already. But not anymore. So
I mean, what did you think? We're kind of skipping around here, but what did you think of the executioner? How did you feel about his character?
He kind of reminded me of Crossbones, that douche from Winter Soldier and Civil War. Like he seemed so scolded and just small-minded, and like everything that he was muttering and saying it could be said by any. You could hear this kind of rhetoric online. You could hear this kind of people talking, anywhere. And I have his lines too, especially when he's fighting Cyclops and kind of kicking his ass, because now Cyclops has got no visor in a room full of innocent people, and he really can't open his eyes. And this guy's besting him physically because he's not super strong or anything. He's just a guy. And this guy's clearly a trained fighter. So now he's got the armor on. He's got this special gun. He's kicking some ass. But
Cyclops is he's just a regular dude with compostable bursts.
Compostable bursts. Yeah, he really cares about the environment, and he'll make sure that green bin goes out every week.
What was it? Concussive.
Concussive blasts.
Blasts. Okay.
Blasts.
All right. Yeah. I'm gonna make a statement about the executioner, and then I'm gonna say one of his lines in the way that I heard it. Okay. So he says something about how you're just whining, like, oh, you're a mutant and you're just whining. But right before that he says, normal people have it hard too. And I'm sorry if that's not the whiniest little bitch I've ever heard.
Yeah, seriously.
Good
But
Lord.
it's funny, and I hear it mostly, I think, when I watch a lot of YouTube stuff, channels that cover and debunk and commentate on just people out there with way too big of channels that are quite bigoted and racist, and they're breaking them down. They're trying to kind of dethrone them in a lot of ways, and that is the way that they talk. They basically look at it as, the full quote in the episode is, know what I hate about your kind? You act like you've got it so bad. Normal people have it hard too.
No, you're not saying it right. No, he says
Normal people have it hard
too. Sorry, and he does his hands like that, like he's jacking off penises. Sorry. Happy birthday, Mom.
And he's about to shoot Cyclops in the face, and then Morph comes in and saves the day with 3 different shifts. You want to know who they are?
3 different shifts. Okay.
Like he turns
Adam?
into 3 different people.
If anybody got that joke,
Wait,
you're welcome.
did I get it?
Probably not.
Probably not. Lady Deathstrike is the first person he comes in looking like, and then he turns into Colossus to take a few hits, and then he turns into Psylocke with her 2 katanas, which is pretty awesome.
Do you want to hear something stupid?
What?
I thought Colossus actually showed up in the episode because I think I was either taking notes or not paying attention, or
You didn't know it was Morph.
I
You
didn't
looked down.
No, and it throws me off too when Morph is not the clay guy, when he's just like he just looks like a regular dude.
Regular dude. Yeah. That's like his go out into public kind of face, and then when he goes home,
when he's just like a brunette dude, I'm like, oh.
Like, who's that?
Okay. Yeah. No
Fair.
clue.
Honestly, the executioner guy, I assume that's the last we'll see of him, because he does seem to kind of wet his pants when Magneto brings him up to the stratosphere and hangs him from that giant seal emblem
Field thing? Yeah.
Yeah. Which I'm happy to see that character move out of the way for someone else to take up the role of being a threat. But it is nice to see them versus these essentially terrorist groups. It's a very, very real threat. Very expected thing for them to face. It was cool.
Yeah. In this scene, we also get Storm being an absolute badass. Goodness. Yeah. Hello. Okay. When she says her lines, which again, wonderfully crafted, Natalie Portman could never, but she does say something that's like, "Be silent."
Oh, yeah.
Like, fucking you, go girl. Oh,
yeah, that's a damn good line. Let me find that one. This is why I write all the lines down. I don't need to say them all, but I definitely like having them on hand. God.
It's nice to have context, because that's all I wrote down was "be silent," because that's something that I would like to use in my classroom. I said, "Be silent."
Be silent. You will feel the wrath of my wind.
And by my wind, I mean bleh.
And you followed it up with a sonic burp. So she basically, they find out through Jean reaching out to Cyclops with telepathy that she's going into labor, and they decide right then and there. Storm is like, Rogue, take him to her immediately. We've got this. And at first I was like, wait a minute, you're not doing well. Bishop has already been kicked through a window, and you're taking away Rogue and Cyclops. What is the plan here? And then looking back on it, I was like, oh, she's going to get Magneto unleashed, because he's clearly the most powerful one in the room, or one of them. But yeah, she snaps into leadership mode, which is awesome to see again. Because she's been in the leader in several X-Men comics too. It's not always Scott in charge of a team. She usually, I think for a while they were having like a team in like several different cities, and she was the head of one of them. But yeah, she barks some orders at the judges, and they clap back, and then she's like, "Be silent, heed my commands, and you shall survive."
That's exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
How I'm gonna say it in my classroom. Be silent. Heed my commands, and you shall survive. You fuckers. Sorry, no, I'm not gonna say that part.
And you're teaching in 6th grade.
Yeah. Yeah, you gotta put the fear in them, man.
Fair. Not even high school. They might not make it out. Oh.
No, I'm just kidding. I will not do that in my classroom. I might say be silent or be quiet a few times, a few thousand times a day.
The asshole doctor that is supposed to be helping Jean with the birth says, we don't do mutant births. You people can lose control of your powers. And then Logan nearly gives that guy a C-section, and Cyclops arrives just in time to stop that from happening.
Okay,
he does say those words. I'll give you a C-section. I was like, wow.
First of all, I gotta say, Jordan, he hawed at that. He didn't say he hawed. He found that very funny in the Discord. I found it cheesy, but clever.
Oh, funnier line from Logan though earlier in the episode is when Jean comes down the steps and says he's coming. He goes, apocalypse.
Ooh, apocalypse.
That was awesome.
That was, yep.
I laughed out loud. That was a good time.
That one got me as well. Jordan, I'm very sorry. I do not share the same sentiment about I'll give him a C-section.
I'll give you a C-section.
I
love when he goes, like, basically to get her to the hospital. She throws his keys and coat at him with telekinesis, and then they're in the Jeep, and he's like off-roading in the city, and she's moving people out of the way, and then she peels the top of the Jeep off just to get some air, I assume. I thought that was really great.
I thought that was just from pain.
Oh, maybe. And that's the thing. In that case, the doctor's right. She loses control of her powers in labor. That's
what I took it as, but no, it's probably also air. I don't know. Renee, let us know. Did that happen on the way today? All right.
Rogue touches the doctor. Is that what you did want to talk about that?
Yes.
Was that what was next?
Yes. Questions. All right. Yes. I know it's fiction. It's fiction. Rogue siphon powers and or kill a normie, right? I am gonna, you know what? If they're gonna be disrespectful to mutants, I am gonna call them normies and be disrespectful to them too. So, suck it.
You guys got an ally with you. Real mutants out there have an ally with Emmy.
Yeah. All right. So, if she can siphon powers,
yes,
being a doctor is not a power. That's a learned skill.
So she doesn't just siphon powers.
No, okay.
She siphons powers, memories, skills, everything. If she holds on to a human long enough, she can. If she holds on to a mutant long enough, she can kill them. If she just holds on to them, touches them for a short while, they will pass out. And she does gain their memories. I can't remember the name of the character, but in the comic books, there's a guy who's similar to that, except all he does is have to be around a person and he'll know what they know. So if he goes to a doctor or goes to a freaking karate class or something, he will pick up just through being in close proximity with them. It's a pretty cool character. But essentially she's just good at stuff. Yeah, it's pretty cool. She can get memories. It happens a little bit in the live action movies. She remembers things about Logan that and she adopts Magneto's memories as well when he uses her to power his machine.
See, I don't remember that part. I just remember, spoiler alert for the 2001 X-Men movie, at the very beginning when she's trying to get intimate with a boy.
Yeah,
she murders him,
in a coma. I think in the I want to say in the comics, in her origin story, she probably does kill the guy. I think in the movie they probably made brought it down to a coma instead. But
Run it down.
yeah.
Run it down from death to coma.
Yeah, they're like,
Wasn't that a
kids
10?
are gonna
She
come
was a
see this, right?
9.5. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're like,
Okay.
let's give them hope that whatever his name was, Chad or something.
Shirley.
No,
Absolutely.
Chad, not Shirley.
Okay.
Sorry.
All right. Steve Martin.
I think you mean Leslie Nielsen.
Do I?
You're talking about the white-haired
do.
guy who
I
says,
do.
"Don't call
I
me
do.
Shirley."
I do. In Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. I got the right movie. It has
No.
John Candy in it, right? No?
That is Steve Martin. Steve Martin and John Candy are in a movie called Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. Leslie Nielsen says the "Don't call me Shirley" joke in a movie called Airplane. So close.
Okay.
on
All
both
right.
accounts.
All right. Do you see? Do you see the confusion here? Do you
Mhm.
see what happened in my brain?
I
Planes,
tracked it. I
airplane.
tracked it.
Whoa.
Yeah. You just wanted to add more vehicles to the title. It was just Airplane. Yeah. You just want variety in your life. You just want spice, you want variety, salty-haired men.
That's another Shawshank Redemption Schindler's List situation.
That one I understand less.
Okay. All right. All right. Thank you. At least that one, that Planes, Trains, and Automobiles and Airplane, you understand more. That's
Yeah, I tracked that one. I saw it from beginning to end.
okay. Okay. All right. Cool. So that was a view into my brain for the week. You're welcome. Okay. I was gonna say that Rogue.
Yes.
Yeah. Again, I'm just saying. Humans, mutants, lover powers. Fucking touch me, bro. Absolutely, put your hands on me. Catch me outside. How about that? Murder and or coma. Let's do it. Okay, and I guess that her being able to siphon off Dr. Powers.
Mm-hmm. Makes
Dr.
perfect
Skills.
sense. Now, if she
does it?
if something happened where she ended up touching their baby, it would die. So she has to glove up.
Would it die because it doesn't have any skills for her to take?
No, she's just a weak individual. So I think even if she tried not to, even if she just went that'd be enough. Yeah.
What if it's a mutant baby?
Different story.
No.
No, mutations only manifest after puberty or during puberty.
How did I not know that?
I don't know.
Is that why my kids are so fucking wild? They're all going through mutation?
They're all mutating, yes, as you speak. As you're trying to speak to them.
Is that's what happened with the one that broke the sink? It was just a mutation.
Yes. Yeah, they probably had concussive blasts.
I would pay money if he went into the principal's office and he was like, "Man, let me just tell you, I'm sorry, I had a concussive blast."
And they're like, in the bathroom. Well,
in the sink.
the toilet was fine.
Okay. When this baby does come out,
yes.
If that child's name had been Ben or Benny, I would have shit my pants.
Oh my God.
And honestly, I was kind of hoping for. I was like, oh my!
You're like, I really hope I get to shit my pants.
Buckled in. I was ready. I know. Yeah, I would have texted you and been like, it's gonna be another 30 minutes. I gotta clean up. It's fine. But can you understand the kismet that is this show now?
It'd be so weird. Yeah, I agree. I agree. That would be the cherry on top for sure.
Yeah. No, 100%. I mean, Nathan is still that's still it's a boy name, you know. And it ends in a vowel and an N. And so I would probably get them confused.
Well, don't worry. One of them is very animated.
Real?
The other one is real.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Cool.
What did you think of the big, he took his one shot of adrenaline. No, he took his one shot and depowered Storm. Did you see that coming?
I didn't. I hate that for Storm because Storm is another one. She's another character that I love. I like that she is not afraid to be herself. She's got that mohawk getting on the bus later on in this episode, and she's just like, fucking stare at me. Like, I like what I like. Like, I like her. She's cool.
Cheers.
I just
100% agree.
I felt bad for Storm that she found this family that she can connect with because of her mutation.
Mm-hmm.
And then once her mutation is kind of taken away, it's like she can't connect with that family anymore, or she feels like she won't be able to. I don't think she completely gives it a chance, because I don't think they
I
would
agree.
completely throw her out on her ass.
I think it was just such a shame that she had that conversation with Jean earlier when Jean was like, "Oh, I want to leave. We need to leave to have this baby." And then she's like, "Oh, I got to stay because Scott wants to stay." And then she's like telling Storm, "We're going to stay until you get better." It's like, "Oh,
Yeah.
man, you're going to make Storm leave."
Yeah.
You fucked up, Jean. Damn it.
But I
If
feel
that is your real name.
Yeah. And it's probably Dolly. She's probably that sheep from 1996. Do you remember that?
No.
4?
Oh, that freaking
94?
clone sheep. I do now.
Is that sheep still around? What is that sheep doing now? It's Jean Grey. I'm sorry. It's Sheep Grey.
Oh my god.
No.
Wait,
Okay, I'm sorry.
X-Men Cable's mom. I'm gonna look up her name right now because it's driving me nuts.
Dolly?
X-Men Cable's mom. No, not Dolly.
You're not looking up the sheep? I'm sorry. I'm much more curious about the sheep.
Who is Cable's mother?
While you're looking that up, I also felt sorry for Storm because the absolute sadness whenever she's saying, like, I can't feel the wind anymore. I can't feel the moisture.
Yeah.
I can't feel. It's like she's lost the connection to what her chosen family, and also to something that made her feel connected to nature and the earth. And it's like she's lost more than one thing.
Yeah, and their abilities are like an ability like hers. It doesn't have many drawbacks. It doesn't really have like a burden to bear. It was just something she's always really, well, since puberty anyways, has always lived with, and clearly loves it. And what I really loved was the way that they showed that and showed the remorse or sadness of it with her being afraid of the lightning because she didn't know it was going to strike. So she like jolts and was shocked because she's so used to knowing when every lightning bolt is going to happen. Even if she's not controlling the weather, she knows what the weather's doing at all times. Yeah. So it's that was a really cool little touch. I was really impressed by that. Madeline Pryor is the name of Jean's clone. What I'm realizing is that Cable's middle name is Christopher Summers, or it's Nathan Christopher Summers, and now I'm wondering if there's some other kid, or if they just changed it. They can't just have two kids named Nathan. That's crazy. Nathan Charles Summers. Charles. No, that's Cable. That is Cable. Okay, so the baby is Cable.
The baby is Cable.
That could be
the Cable was baby.
The Cable was
the baby is baby. The Cable is Cable. No, I'm sorry. I was gonna do a whole bit there. You were talking about how not innocent, but like how Storm's powers kind of like they're cool and they don't really have that much of a downside. But we do have somebody here who's from the trailer park down the street. And ma'am, would you like to speak? I don't know if you remember back in 1997 when that woman, she brought a nader in here, and I was trying to give the casserole dish back to Lorraine over in 1491, and I was outside, and she just all of a sudden there was that tornado and the sirens started going off, and I was like, damn, I'm outside. Where am I supposed to go? So I went underneath of a tree and used the casserole dish to cover my head. It's okay. I was fine. Lorraine's house was destroyed and ended up in Kansas.
Both
R.I.P.
destroyed and relocated. That's a shame. I thought you were gonna say. I guess it's my casserole dish now.
I should have.
Fuck
I should
that.
have. I should have. Goddamn. Should
No,
have.
that was
Yes,
good.
anded myself.
I
Damn
like
it.
that. I like that she used it for protection. I like
Yeah.
that she used it to shield herself from the rain.
Yeah.
Is that a recurring character? Or are we gonna? What's her name?
Joanne.
Joanne.
Joanne, me and Lorraine go way back. We went to high school together. We dated the same guys at the same time.
Oh, well, that's beautiful, Joanne.
Yeah.
That's so. And you're certain that this nader, was powered by a woman, by a person?
Yeah, it was a woman for sure. Her eyes
Star
were
up there.
light.
Did she
And-
say cool things?
Yeah, she said, "Be silent, you bitch." And I said,
Were you doing a lot of screaming at the time?
"Well, yeah, there was a nader, man."
Don't fuck around.
No, I'm sorry. I don't know how to say it. Whenever a nader goes through an area, it is always the most entertaining people that they interview after,
100%.
in my opinion.
And they're the people that want to be on TV too.
And listen, if I have a dream, that is my dream. I want to be Meemaw out on the patio with the casserole dish in my nighty pajamas. Having the news interview me. Joanne.
I'm trying to think. Joanne. Yeah, you. Not Joanne, not you.
Yeah, not me. No.
Someone else.
Joanne, my alter ego.
Yeah. Everybody needs
After
one.
I've had too much Four Loko.
And a whole liter of Mountain Dew.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I was gonna say okay, so Magneto brings them up to the clouds. I wrote above the clouds and into the cold upper atmosphere with the judges. Eric sheds a tear before facing them. They're cold and afraid. He addresses executioner first. Bigot, ingrate, sycophant, worm, so small I could smite you with a step. There was a time I would smite you all for what was done to Storm, but today I saved you from your own. For an old friend has challenged me to remember this view of the earth, how vast it is versus how small we make it. Charles Xavier trusted me with his dream, and it does not ask you to love or embrace my kind as your own, but merely to accept that this is a shared world with a common future, and that my kind, like yours, have a right to live in it. I am trying to be better. Please do not make me let you down. Which I love that they kind of bookended it or ended it off with a bit of a joke. Because he's got them way up in the air right now, and he says, please do not make me let you down.
Mm-hmm.
In other words, do the right thing or you're dead. And I did appreciate that old Magneto way of doing that. But that's a really good speech. I loved the view of the earth thing. Challenged me to remember this view of earth, how vast it is versus how small we make it.
How small we make it, because it's not fucking pie.
Yeah, it's not pie.
Yeah. But also, I do think it is a bit of foreshadowing, because something makes me think that they are going to make him change his mind, and they're going to do something fucking stupid.
Yeah, the wrong person's going to have the wrong gun at the wrong time or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Something's going to be heartbreaking about it. I know that. And then after all that, very powerful speech. And that's why I say the music was really amazing there too. It swells up really cool.
Oh.
Yeah.
And the line too that he says earlier when they're still in the courtroom, he says, after the mob breaks the perimeter, and he says something about how oh, look at you guys still in the wrong even after you're following the rules or something. It was like,
Oh
fuck.
yeah. Where did your rules get you type of thing. Yeah.
Yeah. It was good. It was fucking
It's good
good.
stuff. Well
Like
written.
they wanted everybody's heads, not just Magneto's. They wanted even the people that were following the rules
Yeah.
wanted their heads too.
Yeah.
I liked it. It was this was a good episode. The first episode I was lukewarm on. This episode I was like,
You're on board.
all right.
You're like, now I want to see what happens next.
This is not What If.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's where we go into basically Beast is looking at a sample of Storm's blood. Hank seems reluctant to tell her, but he's quite sure that it appears permanent. Jean says Cyclops and her aren't going anywhere until Storm is well again. Storm, in shock, leaves. Takes a look at her old uniform where the beam hit it, and for the first time, the storm outside scares her. I already mentioned why I like that part, but she leaves Jean a letter. Basically,
And her earrings.
Did she?
Yeah, because I was like, girl, if you're scared of the thunder and the lightning, why are you still wearing those lightning bolts? And then the letter has Jean's name on it, and then in the top left hand corner, I think.
Yeah.
Her earrings are there too. And I was like, oh shit,
That's cute.
somebody else thinks like me.
So you had that thought before you noticed that she gave him up. That's so spooky.
Yep.
She does a really good, it is this great departure kind of letter, and turns out that Jean had been sharing it with everybody. So there's these moments where Magneto and Rogue are touching hands in Charles's office. Like, what the fuck is that about? Morph has brought Logan some beers and chips and tries to coax him out of the tree because he's up there just kind of moping. And Morph turns into Sabretooth, his old nemesis, and they kind of have a wrestle. Logan gets into it. He wants to wrestle with Morph in the yard. I thought it was cute. Gambit sees
I didn't
Rogue.
see that.
You don't remember that part?
I didn't. No, I didn't see that at all. Especially you've said Sabretooth. Like I know that I know who Sabretooth is. I know.
Yeah.
No, I didn't see that, and I think it's because voiceover means brain goodbye. All I have to do is listen.
They're already telling me stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fair.
I blame.
I get like that too sometimes.
Blame
the phone world that we live in. It's true. Gambit sees Rogue coming out of that office that he knows Magneto is in, and his glossy red eyes are real close up to the camera, and he looks like he's a little crying a little bit.
What crying? Cry out of those eyes.
You froze and I didn't hear what you said except eyes.
What do you cry out of those eyes?
Oh, like a kind of a blackish gray sludge. I don't know.
Ew.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
They read the letter to everybody. Gambit says that the blast was meant to hit Eric and he should be the one who's leaving. Morph says he doesn't buy it for 1 minute. Storm will spend 1 day schlepping it with the basic folk. And then a doorbell interrupts Morph and he goes running to answer it. And of course, it's Jean. Why wouldn't it be? And she says she needs the X-Men and collapses in Morph's arms. And everybody looks on very confused. Very, very confused. And that is
me included.
cliffhanger. Me too, man. Yeah. Me too. I think it might be, if they go into Madeline Pryor and like clones and stuff like that, that means to me more comic book accuracy, more comic book references, and that's always more fun when it comes to X-Men because they have so much unscratched material, completely unexplored. So I'm stoked.
Is that how we have to say that? Unscratched material?
I might never have said that before in my life. I don't think anyone has. What's the phrase?
Untouched?
Untouched!
In my head, scratching goes with balls.
Scratching the surface, I think, is what I was messing
up.
Okay. Scratching the surface of the gold balls or whatever that character's name
the golden ball. Okay.
just scratching the surface.
Based on your knowledge.
Yeah.
And we can all agree my knowledge is 0.69 based on your knowledge.
Yes.
How much of the comics was the original series based on, like, scale 1 to 10ish? Like, it doesn't. Yeah.
I'd say because it was such a close adaptation of, like, their suits were the same, they could do bright colors, they could do melodrama, they could do all these things that you don't really see people doing in live action movies, at least not at the
Oh,
time.
the 90s. The
The
90s,
90s,
man.
yeah, man. I think that they were pretty close. I want to say percentage wise, they're probably 80% accurate, or 80% just brought straight from the comics. They would make a lot of like, every episode would essentially be a different comic book character coming to the X-Men for help. And so you'd kind of learn about them for an episode, and it'd be like Colossus, or it'd be Nightcrawler, or it'd be someone else. And so they'd eventually have a bigger team, but for the most part, it was just this, like, core group of 7 characters helping people out one at a time. And yeah.
Okay. Okay.
But it was, yeah, they'd keep it pretty accurate.
That's the
was one
source
of its
material
charms.
is comic accurate, and so the reboot should be.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
Like, I don't want them to come up and make up their own stories. Like, I don't know. I can't even think of, like the last season of Game of Thrones. Like, I don't want that. Even though I hated it less than other
Nobody
people.
did. Nobody did. Nobody wanted it, but we got it.
We got it.
You know what? Here, I'll give you one.
Yeah.
Dexter. Did
Dexter.
you watch the newest episode or newest season of Dexter? The one that came
The
out like
new Cold
well
Blood?
after? Yeah.
I watched the first, I want to say 3 episodes, and I just didn't get hooked. I couldn't.
Oh,
I didn't stick
I
with it.
did. I did
Should
get
I
hooked.
have? I heard it got
No.
bad again, didn't it?
It got worse, honestly.
Is it only 1 season?
Yeah.
And then it just got canceled again?
I won't say that it got canceled. It came to a conclusion that was unsatisfactory.
Okay, fair enough. I think
and
Dexter had an amazing run for the first 4 seasons. That's
yes.
my
And I completely agree with you. And as someone who loved, okay, this is a tangent, and I'm sorry.
okay.
As someone who loved Dexter, I read the books by Jeff Lindsay after I started the first or second season. The first book and the first season are almost like word for word, almost.
Oh, the Ice Truck Killer season. That's an awesome season.
Yes. However, it ends a little bit differently.
Okay.
In the first book, and then from there on out, the books, because I had watched a lot of Dexter, and then I was like, okay, well, and actually maybe I oh shit, okay, hold on, I might be getting this out of order. I think I watched Dexter and I was like, well, the books have got to be better.
Oh,
and
okay.
then I read the books and I was like,
The
oh
show's better.
god, the show was so much better.
Well, there's so much about, I feel like, murder mystery, or just, I don't know, crime thriller books. The shows based on them are, they sink or swim when it comes to style. And I think Dexter's best things about it were the style, the Miami flavor of it. They had the music in there. They had his voiceover, his scary voiceover. It was just cool as shit. Yeah. I love
the intro.
and then eventually it runs its course, and that's why maybe some drama series shouldn't go on for 6-7 seasons to 8 till it's like that thing where the Dark Knight line where they say you either die the hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain, and then shows do that. I think they're capable, just like anything. You know, we're seeing something like that with the MCU currently trying to fight becoming the villain, in my opinion. They've been around so long that the bubble has burst, and they're no longer the underdog. They have the money, they have the talent, they just have to use it properly, I think.
Yeah, but have you seen a DC movie recently?
They never they've never gotten back what Christopher Nolan did for them. My God, they've never gotten back to that level of quality. Yeah.
No. And that was
Even
right
Christopher
around
Nolan
when Iron Man.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. The Dark Knight. And I don't even consider The Dark Knight Rises that bad, but I didn't like it as much as The Dark Knight. And then things just kind of went. People didn't like Superman as much as the Batman ones, and then it just kept getting sillier and sillier.
And then Aquaman came out. And then Aquaman 2 came out, and everybody was like, ha ha, what?
Honestly, half of that movie felt like him just auditioning to play Lobo. I want him to play that.
You've said this. Yeah.
I've
okay.
said that. I did, didn't I?
Yeah. And he's a pasty white guy on a motorcycle. That's what I remember.
He's a pasty
from
white
that.
space biker. Yeah.
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 I do think though, because I'm a softie and I love Dexter, I do think that the last book is on this bookshelf. Not this bookshelf. Nope. Hold on. Spatial awareness. Right here. The wooden one, not the black one underneath the TV.
Just
I
so
do think-
everybody's clear who's listening, she's pointing behind her and using the camera to figure out where to point.
It's somewhere on that bookshelf.
I believe you.
It's
I
called
didn't doubt it for a
Dexter.
second.
Dexter is no, I don't want to say it. Last one. All right. Keith, I've kept you long enough, and
You've kept me exactly as long as I wanted you to keep me. So it's perfect.
I appreciate that. I honestly, when people are asking me today, like, "Oh, do you have any birthday plans?" I was like, I get to go home and watch a new Marvel like TV show, and I get to record a podcast, and I honestly like, perfect. That's a perfect day, and I get to take tomorrow off because I didn't have any meetings, and
yeah,
party. Well, hey guys, don't tell my school I said it was allergies.
Goodness.
And
now you're gonna have to.
Not my birthday day.
You gotta activate some allergies stat.
Oh,
there you go. I'm convinced. No, I was super stoked to talk about this show. I was just delighted and relieved that it was as good as it was, because it could have been a flop, and it was instead very refreshing and new and different, and also very nostalgic. So I was very excited.
What if
Don't
it
say
had
that.
been a flop?
If it had been, then I would relish in the fact that I could make fun of it with you.
Well, it's true. True. All right. Well, this has been the Avengers. Thank you so much for riding this wave out with us. Again, I don't want to do all the product placement, but we're basically Avengers podcast, ABINGERS, wherever you want to try to find us. Put a .com on there, put a patreon.com in front with a /, put an @ if you want to find us on socials. ABINGERS podcast if you want to find us on podcast platforms, which I think that maybe you have if you're listening to this, or you're on YouTube, in which case smash that subscribe button.
Smash the like, smash the subscribe, and hit that little bell if you want notifications.
Leave a comment below if you remember sex and math.
Yeah.
That was last episode. Whatever. Anyway, yeah, we have done 2 episodes tonight. We will be back next week to record episode 3, and also possibly.
Yeah, possibly. I'm down. If you are.
Potentially Daredevil episode, whatever we're on. 4. Yeah, I had the right number on my hands, but then I was like, no, you're wrong.
Episode 3 of X-Men is going to be called Fire Made Flesh. Very exciting. Sounds gross.
It does sound gross. Fire Made Flesh?
Mm-hmm.
That sounds like Roberto might be back.
Ooh, maybe. I mean, that would make sense.
Or is he Flesh Made Son?
I just heard myself through your headphone into your own microphone. That's how loud I got.
Really?
Yeah. I'm not going to yell again and find out, but...
Okay.
I got too close.
I'll
to
keep
the
my
mic.
ears. I'll keep my ears away from the microphone. But yeah. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us twice in 1 week. A great birthday present for Kevin Feige to put out new stuff on my birthday. He did call me. He was like, "Hey, listen, is it okay if I like overshadow you a little bit?" I was like, I mean, I guess like
You take a number.
whatever. Yeah. Right, because Brandon did too. Go. All right. But yeah, anyway, you guys, Keith, do you have any final words or songs?
Or songs, yeah.
As mine
As
have been.
The musical person that I
no.
am.
No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. No, I have a credits name before.
Hit it.
Okay. All right. I have done this one before, different person, but I have done this one before, and I'm going to do it again because it is relevant because it is my birthday. One of our additional voices was Shelby Young. Hi, Shelby Young. I'm Emmy Old. And I'm sorry, it's still funny.
Shelby Young.
All right.
Around.
Yep. Shelby
Craft
Young.
services,
Craft. Did you say craft services?
Yeah, I don't remember if you said what she did.
Oh,
you said additional voices.
Additional
Okay.
voices.
Sorry,
And
Shelby.
craft services.
I'll reach
She
out
also
to her.
did the charcuterie. But yeah. Hi, Shelby
Made with
Young.
real shark.
I am Emmy Old, and I once told my friend's mom that it was called charcuterie because it has meat on it, and she believed me.
Aw.
Yep.
The things we do
All right.
for the ones we love.
In spite of the ones we love. Speaking of that friend, I need to go call her back. What final words?
Oh, I got nothing. Happy birthday. Happy freaking birthday, man.
Thank you very much.
And happy birthday to Benny Burger.
Oh, how dare you?
Actually, it's 30 minutes after your birthday.
Oh, well, so you know what? We're still gonna sing.
Fuck you.
And the thing about, did you say that to a newborn baby?
No, just you. I swear.
We are still gonna sing. And the thing about happy birthday is you have to sing it fast and sing it just like it's gotta go. All right, so ready, okay. Set, go. All right, happy birthday to me, happy birthday to me, happy birthday, dear fucker.